Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the altcoin show, coming at you 6 days a week daily. And I want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. And today we're going to look at some battle of the blockchains, who is winning and who is not, and where am I placing my bets. And then of course we'll look at some charts as we always do, some altcoin setups, possible trades there that I am looking at. But of course, before we get into all of that, you know what I'm going to say next. If you're a regular watcher, smash that like button. That does help get this content out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. And I really appreciate all the kind words that people do leave below in the comments, as well as any questions put there. I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to. And don't forget, the cheat sheet is the top link on the description of this video and every video. I put it there because every day I'm asked, what is your cheat sheet? Where is it? It is my roadmap for this bull market run that we are currently in. My roadmap to success, I believe, will lead us to success there in this bull run there as well. And of course, there are lots of links, resources, free education, free airdrop links there as well, where you can participate in airdrops. I have entries and take profits on certain coins and projects, swing trades, and of course, the Stocks with Josh link to sign up for the Discord, the most amazing Discord on the planet. That's also on the cheat sheet. It's also linked below in the description of this video as well. Okay, so before we jump into the charts, let's look at some of the blockchains. And first of all, before we even look at that, let's look at Bitcoin and how it's gone against some of these blockchains, okay? Now, Bitcoin, the price in 2021 was 67,000, probably around this time, actually in October 2020. Litecoin was 390, that blockchain. Ethereum was 4,600, and Cardano was $2.90. Now, Bitcoin's back at $67,000, of course. So here are all these prices, 69. So down a fair bit from 390. Ethereum 2,600 and Cardano 32 cents. Any questions? And I think the question here really we have to ask ourselves is, why not have been in Bitcoin? You would have got better returns for your money. We keep chasing the shiny altcoins, thinking that they're going to give us better returns, and some have. If you've been in the right altcoins at the right time, certainly that would have worked out. Or of course, some of the meme coins, and knowing which ones to pick at the right time. But certainly, as you can see, we're here to make money. And the money would have been made better off to have been in Bitcoin. That's why I always encourage, whenever you're looking at charts, don't look at your altcoin just against a USD pair or USDT pair. Look at it against the Bitcoin pair as well. How well has that altcoin performed against Bitcoin there? So certainly that is something that can be looked at in the charts on a regular basis there. Okay, all right, let's look at Solana. So Solana makes history, flipping Ethereum in 7 days fees for the first time. So now you have Solana and Radium flipping Ethereum there. Certainly Solana has been one that would have been better to have been in the Bitcoin for the majority of this bull run. Of course, when I bought it at $12, around $12.15, I think my last buys came in at around $20. And then I was able to take profits all the way up to $200. And then I was able to reaccumulate some at lower levels, and I continue to swing trade that Solana. And we're going to look at Solana in just a moment. It's had a bit of a breakout. I gave some great levels to get some entries in there before we got the breakout, and we have hit our first take profit to the upside for that trade. Of course, that doesn't mean we get out of the trade. We're just taking some profit here. Of course, if you think Solana is going to come back down and you want to sell completely out of that trade, or maybe put a stop loss up, underneath it to protect the profits in case it comes down. Certainly that is another way of doing it as well. But don't be sad if you get stopped out and then it goes off again. That's why I'm always in favor in these bullish trending moves to stay in the trade and just take some profits on the way up there. So we see that with Ethereum. Certainly Solana also outperforming Cardano. In 2020, the price of Solana and ADA was the same. And now, one Solana, you could buy 500 ADA. And so, I understand that we might believe in a certain blockchain or project, but certainly holding for 4 years of consistent downtrend against, and that's the other thing you can do on charts. You can pair up. You can look at the Solana versus ADA chart or the Solana versus Ethereum chart and have a look at how that coin measures up to other coins. Now, certainly, I wouldn't think now dumping ADA or Ethereum or Litecoin when they're probably at their lows is necessarily the best way to move out of that token into a different token. I'm always more in favor when coins are at the bottom or their perceived bottom, having dollar cost average out on pumps if you're looking to get out of a coin. And certainly if there is a revival on a coin, like experiences some kind of revival and some kind of resurrection comes upon that coin, then you certainly still have some skin in the game as well, which I think is what many people are hoping for, that at some point there is going to be a pump. And certainly you don't want to sell coin completely, get out of a coin right at the bottom. That's not my play. You could certainly do that because remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Said the great Maximus Decimus Meridius from the movie Gladio. So you can certainly do as you please. I'm just sharing some things that the strategy that I would take and what I found to be successful trading these different products here as well. And then finally here, let's not forget about Sui. And Sui hits 25 million active accounts. That's a lot of people that you just see a continued slope upwards for Sui. Here, the more and more people are adopting and using Sui and have created a Sui account. So certainly Solana and Sui are the two blockchains that I feel I've correctly called for this bull run from the very beginning, having that Solana and seeing the gains that it's made, and then being able to you could have got back around $110 or $120 during the reaccumulation period. Now it's up pushing around $180. What an incredible move that's been. And then, of course, Sui that I was giving under $1 all the way down to 40 something cents. There was a reaccumulation period there for Sui, and that went and did 400 or 500%. And certainly I feel both of these coins, at least, I'd be surprised if they couldn't both do another 4 or 5x from here. Certainly, I've got more bets on the Sui horse because I do think Solana had a big parabolic move already to the upside in the first part of this bull run. I do think Solana has some legs left to it. I'd love to see it get to 450, 600, maybe even up to that $900 to $1,000 mark. I'm not sure if it can push any higher than that. That would take a lot of money. Whereas with Sui, certainly I could see that coming up to that $20 to $30 level and maybe right up to that top $40 level there, $40 to $50. Again, that would take a lot of money poured into Sui. But if these two are the best blockchains, and as we see more and more each day and week and month, money is flowing out from Ethereum into Solana and Sui. It's flowing out from ADA, it's flowing out from XRP, and you can see this in dominance. And we'll look at these coins and the dominance in just a moment there as we jump into the charts. So let's jump into the charts right now, actually. And so we're going to just have a quick look firstly here at Banana Gun. And as you can see with Banana Gun, I did say a little quick trade would be jumping off the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. You could jump in that trade and ride it a few bucks from 51 to 54. So if you took that, you made some money. I gave that call, I believe, on Saturday and Friday, actually, probably all this week. Certainly not a bad place for a just in case bag buy. Just a dollar cost average buy there, just in case Banana Gun takes off and doesn't come back, to have some skin in the game. That's why I always look, when I look at a coin that's pumped, oh, look, I could have gotten it at $30. I've been talking about this coin for a long time, actually, for many months back when banana gum was 29 or $30. It's gone up a lot from there, but it hasn't done a 300 or 400% from when I first shared it in this channel. It was back around that low 30s, but certainly did jump up to around that $60 level. So it did do 100% there, but certainly in a nice pullback. I always like just saying, hey, you know what? If I don't have any, I don't mind buying a little bit. There's a good enough pullback here. Grab a little bit of banana gun here, but have most of my buys down here lower, lower areas here. You got the 50-day moving average. If there was a big drop from Bitcoin, this would be the area that I would want to load up on more than here around that $46 level. But if you believe it's going to go to a few $100s, is there a big difference between loading up here at 51 and 46? And so that's why I have a problem with these just in case bag buy here and just the dollar cost average system of building a position there. Now, Blub was kind of like, Blub, we are at the bottom of the range. And so where would you stop out on this trade? Well, some of you might have stopped out already, and that's totally fine. And there's a couple of ways to stop out. Obviously, you can put a stop loss below this level here. Certainly, there is an argument that we could move the bottom of the range a little bit lower, and we could possibly do that here and just move this tribal trades trend line to the bottom of the range. Particularly if we sit here for a while and then we move up, then I didn't quite get the tribal trades trend line in the right spot. And sometimes, I do have to move it slightly just to accommodate that, but certainly we could come down a little bit lower to this 5.5 level, for example, or even this level here. But you can see there's a Lux Algo order block, and that's been holding up the price there for a little bit. But certainly what I would want to see is if you come down and you have a candle and it comes back and rejects, and you would drop down to the hour time frame or the 15-minute time frame, and if there's a clear rejection off there, that can be a time to also stop out of the trade there on Blub. But certainly we do have a little bit of higher low on the 15-minute time frame. I'd want to see that on the bigger time frames there for Blub there. But certainly for Blub, we do need to see some buyers step in there, or that might be a time to step out of the swing trade there with Blub. So just keep an eye on that chart. Again, you can either set your stop loss a little bit lower. You could set it down maybe below this order block here. There is a low here sitting at around 52, 7 zeros and 52. But certainly that could be a place, or this candle here to put, or it could be on a breakdown. And I like stopping out if we go down and then we come up and we get rejected from a key Fibonacci or trend line. That can sometimes be a good place to get out of the trade, and you don't lose as much in the stop loss there. Bonk right now, we've got a nice little trade set up here for Bonk. If we move to the daily, certainly we just keep getting entries for Bonk, it seems like, continuously. We have around 21 there with 4 zeros for those listening in the car on the way to work. Shout out to you guys. Hope you have a great day. Certainly, we are going to get a golden cross at some point, as long as Bonk does stay above the 50-day moving average, which of course would have been the better entry down here at around 205 with 4 zeros, 205. And then certainly our take profit level is going to be up here at around 23 with 4 zeros, and certainly even further to the upside there around that 25 with 4 zeros as well. So Bonk's not doing too bad. Doge is looking really good at the moment. I have to say, we are finding some resistance here at 14.5 cents. So this could be a good place to take some profits on Doge, or at least take some profits off the table. We could come back and retest this 12.7 level, which I did tell you on a successful retest here, which it did get a retest of that 12.7 line. You could have jumped in the trade and rode that up a little bit. Of course, there were other opportunities that I gave to get in the trade at the 200 EMA at about 11.7, which we could come back to. It's now at 11.9. And if we do come back all the way to the 50-day moving average, it's at about 11.6. But we are going to get a golden cross seemingly on Doge. unless there is some massive capitulation to the downside and it breaks both below the 200 and the 50-day moving average and come down here, that'll drag both of them down. But we are going to get a golden cross on Doge like we saw on Bitcoin. We just saw a Bitcoin golden cross. This is coming. And again, it's a lagging indicator, and the time to get in before the golden cross was one of these earlier times. However, just remember, with golden crosses, generally price will come back into and retest the 50-day moving average. So there will be maybe one last opportunity for a pullback into the 50-day moving average to load up on some Doge before I feel this can take off up to higher around that 19-20 cent region and higher for Doge. For Ethereum, we've got a golden cross seemingly coming there for Ethereum because we're back above the 50-day moving average. I did say there would be another buying opportunity if we came down to this 200. And look, you don't have to wait for it to touch exactly. It's the difference of like $20 there. This would have been another good entry here. If you didn't get it here, or here, there's another entry for Ethereum. I do think we do at some point see some liftoff for Ethereum. We've got our take profit price here at 2787. We would stay in the trade, or I would stay in the trade there. Another take profit at 29, and then 34 would be another place to take some profit. But I do think this could ride all the way up to around 5,050, 100. I did share the other day how it's in a cup and handle, and the upward target to the upside is going to be about 5,100 there for Ethereum. GOAT, certainly there's some entries there. People are asking entry for GOAT on the 50-day moving average, sitting at around 52. And so we almost got to that. So maybe you didn't get your orders filled there, which would have been a little bit tough. Sometimes you can go down to a little bit of a lower time frame and see, yes, there would have been an entry there at 58. So certainly if we come back to the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, there's an entry there at 58. And certainly if we do come down a little bit lower there to the 50-day moving average, that comes down to around 52. So those would be the two entries I'd be looking at for GOAT. Maybe a just-in-case bag. I wouldn't go heavy in at those levels, but a just-in-case bag there, or a quick swing trade there on GOAT. All right, we're going to jump down to next Solana. We'll finish up with a couple here, and we've got Solana trade. And Solana has looked quite good. I did give the entry back there at 161. So if you did get in that trade on Solana, that was the entry there. I wouldn't be buying or adding any here. This is selling here now. We've come up twice. Haven't been able to break through the tribal trades trend line. Strikes again for the second time. So this would have, you could have gotten the trade here, taken profit, got back in the trade, taken profit again, and we might see it. We may only see it come back a short little pullback to this 171, which is the 1272, and then we push off to the top. And certainly we could come all the way back to the 161 level there for Solana. My next area to the upside is going to be around that 190 to 200 level. So maybe the round as we get into here, we should see some resistance. So this would be the next. I know it's quite close after 175 level, maybe 200, another $25 up. If you're in the swing trade there, that could be a good play. Certainly, we have found some resistance there in the past for Solana. So that Solana trade has worked out beautifully there for those of you who were able to get in on that trade. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. That's all we have time for today. I'm going to share some other trade setups in the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, I will see you there soon. And until the next episode, happy trading.